It is written, "A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children." Wow, this is interesting. So, what is the best inheritance to leave behind for the children so it could last from generation to generation and making them a better humanity? Dear friends, you're welcome back. This video will make a lot of sense to you if you can watch till the end. And please don't forget to like and share our content with your loved ones. And straight away, let us dive into the subject of the day. But first, let us define our terms. Inheritance is simply something that one receives by law, or it is willed to you. Or better still, it is highly valued substance that is passed down from one generation to the next. And when we talk about children here, we are simply talking about the next generation, which might not necessarily be born to you biologically. So when we talk about children here, we are talking about upbringing or nurturing of young minds to maturity. I mean say pikin no must be na pikin wey you sef you born am, but the one where you don't bring her up by teaching him or her principles as to how life operates. Hey, but hold on. Before we go on talking about what you have to leave behind for the next generation, let us talk about you. Let us talk about ourselves. So before we think of passing anything down to the next generation, we must try our best to enjoy the peace of mind, be contented, and the wealth and possession that this life has to offer. After all, it is written, "Nothing is better for a man that he should eat and drink, and that his soul should enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw, it was from the hand of God." And then we try our best to encourage or empower others within reasonable limits. And never forget, and also remember, that what you leave with the next generation is not as important as what you leave in them. So this brings us to the different types of inheritances, and the last one to me being the most important. So what we leave with the people could be classified as material possessions such as estates, money, that is huge bank accounts, cars, etc. And this is where so many parents are crucifying themselves, trying to pile up as much of it as possible for their children. But at the same time, they are emotionally absent in the day-to-day upbringing of these children. That is why these material possessions are torn apart and misused after the death of these parents, because there is lack of wisdom to sustain them. And the next type of inheritance is what we leave in the next generation. And I want to look at it from two perspectives. One, genetic inheritance or hereditary, and spiritual inheritance. All humanity in flesh and blood comes into the world through sexual reproduction, in which some vital information, which are called genes, are passed down from one generation to the next. This information, which we call genes, is what determines our chemical and physical looks. That is why, if we carefully examine ourselves, we will discover that either we look, talk, or walk like our mother, father, or one member of our family. If you think I'm speaking the truth, please like this video or Smash the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. The next and the best form of inheritance which we leave in the next generation is what I call spiritual inheritance. And this is done by introducing the next generation to Christ within them. Oh, does this mean that every parent should be a Christian? Oh no. What I mean is that we must be able to guide the next generation into being free thinkers. I mean, a liberated people. After all, it is written, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." And when I talk of the truth, I'm talking about the truth about themselves. I mean, we must guide them into self-motivation, confidence about themselves, a sense of commitment to life in making it better for themselves and others. I choose to call this spiritual inheritance because it has to do with the passing down of spiritual impartation. Principles of joyful service, practice, convictions, values, and patience, faith, and so on. And most of these things are not things which we can touch. A typical example is what we find in 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 5 concerning what Paul spoke about Timothy. It reads, "When I call to remembrance the genuine faith that is in you, which dwelleth first in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and I am persuaded is in you also." So we can see strong spiritual values passed down from grandmother to mother, and now in a son who is in joyful service. You see, it is rather unfortunate that these days parents and children live worlds apart, and it is their choice, no doubt, but this is raising a vagabonds for the next generation. But it is my sincere prayer that we will continue to emphasize these things so that we can continue to pass down from one generation to the next values, principles that make humanity a better people. And if you agree with me, why not put a comment in the comment section and also share this content with your neighbor. The Lord bless you. Stay strong, and we will see you in our next video.